Hello there, it's another Friday and it's a time to bring to you another interesting edition of Engineering and You, a program that is sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon, FNSC, and the objective of the program is to encourage school leavers, to encourage secondary school students to go into the field of engineering, because we know that engineering is the bedrock of development in any nation, and so for Nigeria to grow and progress, engineering is the way to go. My name is Tunde Olaniro, and today my guest is already seated. He's an engineer of many years in the profession, and also we have a question for you, because an interactive one where we don't just get to talk to you, but we get to answer our question and get a prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon, FNSC. And the question for today is, which one of the following has the highest value or specific heat? Which one of the following has the highest value of specific heat? You can see it on the screen. So whichever one is correct, in your opinion, just give us the option. Is it A, B, C, or D? Just give us the option in this case. The answer is the alphabet, and we'll let you know if you are correct. You can also drop the answer on any of our social media handles as displayed on your screen, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Drop the answer. If you can't get us via phone call, you sure will get your prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon. And I must inform you that in the course of the week, the FJ got our question correctly for the question for the week last week on YouTube. So FJ, we can't give you your prize because we don't know your full name and your contact. So please, FJ, just go to our comment section if you are watching this program on YouTube and drop a comment or your number or your name on that comment section, and we're sure to get your prize across to you. Or you can call these numbers 0703 161 1497 to claim your prize. All right, we'll take these very short breaks without wasting any of our time, and my guest is already seated. After this short break, I'll let you know who he is and what he will be discussing with us. Yes, we are glad to know that you are still there. The program is still Engineering and You, courtesy of Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon, FNSC. Now, my guest for today is Dr. Engineer Abiola OYERINDE of the Department of Civil Engineering, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agowoye, and he is here to talk about careers in water resources engineering. Career in water resources engineering. What does he want to talk about? What does he entail? I will let him take it over from here. Dr. OYERINDE, welcome to Engineering.
Thank you very much.
All right, you have the floor now.
Good evening to our viewers at home. It's a privilege to be here today. I'm going to speak on careers in water resources engineering. If you are following on the slide, if it is displayed, water resources engineering is a very noble profession. It's a branch of civil engineering, and among all the discipline in civil engineering is one of the most noble. It's a profession that cut across all facets of our lives. Now, what is engineering all about? It's a profession that it deals with stewardship, where God gave us the privilege of preserving the most abundant resources on the surface of the earth, which is our water. And okay, thank you. I'm waiting for the slide to come up. Good. So that profession is a noble profession that God has given to us, and the discipline of water resource engineering is the one that God gave us to manage that resources. Now, water is a resources one, and it's a resources that contain other resources. So we are given the mandate of making sure that water is managed. Let me give you an example. Water is such that while we use it on daily basis, while we drink it, while we use it, the same water constitutes problem for us. So you drink the same water and you step out of your house, you see the water on the ground, it becomes a nuisance to you. So the responsibility of the water engineer is to harness all the resources within the water and to make sure that it's of value to humanity. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now you see in summary there, next one, thank you. Now you see in summary the next slide, good, that this is what we do. At the center of our profession is the water and water infrastructures. And those infrastructure, we have a mandate to 1, to develop, 2, to operate, 3, to regulate, 4, to control, 5, to harness, 6 is to manage, 7, to construct, 8, to design, 9 is to plan. I don't know what is missing there. Okay, to maintain. Now, what it means is that anything that has to do with water and the infrastructure that controls the water, we have a mandate of managing all those things together. And that is a very big work, because the same water you see in your bottled water and the same water that falls in the rain. And it becomes a challenge that while the water that is falling in the rain is coming down, somebody has to manage the water. And that is the responsibility that we're given as water engineer. And so, by and large, we discovered that while some professions will go off with time or with civilization, water will remain relevant throughout our lifetime, because we need water. And as long as the rain is still falling and the water is running in our river, somebody has to keep managing water. So water is an ageless and a timeless profession that we are gifted. And let's see the next slide, please. So in the next slide, in studies, we can just break water resources engineering into 4 aspects. We have hydrology, that deals with the circulation of water throughout the whole atmosphere on the ground. We have hydraulics, that deals with flow of water in pipes and in surface area. We have water quality, that deals with the quality of water, and the aspect of it again is environmental. Now these are key areas we can just summarize water engineering or water resource engineering as a course to. And so for anybody that desires such a work, it's a noble work. And it takes a lot of reading and studying. So let's go to the next slide and see what is there. Now, if you look at that next slide, traditional areas of specialty. Now, these are areas where people that have studied the course in the past are specialized. And discover that it is so wide and so varied. Look at environmental impact analysis and remediation. What does that mean? That means that before you construct a particular project, you want somebody has to sit down and assess what is the environmental impact of that thing to us, either to the people that are living there or to even the environment itself. Then look at hydrological engineering analysis. That is where we analyze data on rainfall, that's data on evaporation, so that we can plan our life. Now let's see the next, let us stay on there. We're talking about hydraulics engineering modeling, hydroelectric power generation, project design and operation, irrigation system analysis and design. Now all these are just areas of specialty. Now let's go to the next slide. You will see what I want to show you there. Now, water resources in brief. Look at area of water supply. That is one that is so close to us, looking at drinking water and sanitation. And on a daily basis, all of us have contact with this. Somebody somewhere have to sit down and plan water for us. And whether you are conscious or not, that person, one way or the other, affects your life. Some of us will come out of the house, we buy bottled water. Some of us will get water from the tap. Some of us will get tanker to bring water. So there is a responsibility of water supply. Then the largest volume of goods in the world are transported through ships. And somebody has to sit down and construct the harbor, construct the port, construct the places where those ships will park. So that is coastal work. Then we have dam and reservoir. Most of our water supply system are linked to a particular dam or reservoir because water is going to be available every now and then. So most of the time we have water in dry season. And if we don't store that water for dry season, we are going to have difficulty. Now you have a water corporation in Abeokuta or in Ogun State, we have a Lagos Water Corporation, and all of them depend on the River Ogun for their raw water. Now, Ogun River Basin have to store that water for them in their dam so that they will be able to use it in dry season. So we cannot remove our life from storage of that water. That water has to be stored. If it is not stored, all the water that falls in the rain will have gone into the ocean and gone to the ocean. And by the time we come back in dry season, we'll be stranded. So somebody has to store the water. Apart from that, we have go back. Thank you. Yes, water quality. Now, water quality become a bigger problem for us because most of 80% of diseases that people treat today are gotten from water or water-related sources. And that is why the quality of what we drink as water is so important. And if we don't take it very serious, we're going to be spending so much money in the hospital. Even at a point, the hospital beds will not be able to contain us. Now we are talking about having the current cases of cholera in Lagos State, where 5 or 6 people have died, about 60 people have died. And that is, if you go down, you see that is related to water problem. So somebody must take care of water quality. Water quality is two parts. One is the one you are drinking. There's a quality to it. Number two, the source of the water itself. If you don't protect it, there are some particular contaminants that our basic treatment will not be able to remove. For example, let's say somebody threw arsenic into our water. Arsenic is a poisonous chemical. And once it gets into your water, it might be very difficult to detect immediately. But when you treat your water, you might not even remove it because our treatment process, a very conventional treatment process, does not remove those things. So somebody has to show that our water, even from the source in the river, somebody does not throw chemical waste into it that will contaminate the water. So it's a responsibility for us. Then we have other one of water transfer under watershed management. And in water transfer, what we do in this place is what? We need to transfer water for a long distance from places where there are water to where there are no water. Then we do flood control. Basically, every year we have flood problem in Nigeria. Our rivers overflow their banks, and we have issues with flooding. And somebody has to sit down and look at those data and say, okay, what can we do? How can we control the flood? How can we stop the flood? And this is part of what we do in our profession. And the last part of it is regulation. Now, regulation is an issue that we have to start taking serious. Let me give you an example. If somebody decides to drill a borehole around your house, and the man is producing, let's say, bottled water or pure water, and the man is draining the water from the aquifer, and by the time you drink your own bowl or your own well, there's no water there again. What do you think will happen? So there's need for us to regulate how much water somebody can take, because this thing is our own commonwealth. Even though God's put it there, somebody can decide that, well, I have the money, I can put boreholes and start selling water, and the water goes, and you come there, you don't see anything again. So there must be need for regulation of water also. These are all the things we do together in water resources engineering. It's a very big field. And apart from that, I missed one of them, hydropower generation. In Nigeria, today, the bulk of our energy generation comes from hydropower stations. And this is where we have dammed the water, we have put the water in a place, and we send them to a turbine to power it, to give us electricity. And so these are part of the what we do in water resource engineering. So it's a noble profession. And for people that want to study water resource engineering, next slide please. Okay, just go. I will come back to this. Move on. Next one. Just I will come back to them. Next one. Next. Move on. Okay, now what we're saying is, if you want to study this, There are a lot of universities in Nigeria that study this course. You can stop there. Now, there are so many universities that study civil engineering. Now, in most schools at undergraduate level, the course is studied as civil engineering. But few universities like Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria study water resources and environmental engineering as a course. And the basic requirement for you to study civil engineering is just your O-level in physics, in chemistry, biology, maths, and English. These are basically what you need. And you need a JAM score of about 200 and above to study civil engineering. Now, this is a list of schools that do civil engineering, and this are a list of polytechnics that offer the same course: Obafemi University, Ife, Federal University of Technology, Akure, University of Ibadan, Covenant University, Ota. A few of other ones that are around us. My own university also, Olabisi University, and my alma mater, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, and all the host of other ones. All of them offer civil engineering. We can go back to the other slide and see what we do. Go back to the first one, water supply. Stop there, water supply. So these are what we do on daily basis. We provide water for people to drink, potable water for every household, and it's a responsibility. And for you to do this water, you have to do a network of pipe across the whole town so that water can get to people in their houses. Next one. Next one. Next slide. Sanitation. Now, sanitation is a big problem because in most places today, those houses do not have toilet. And one of the reasons why you don't have toilet is because they don't have water. Some have toilet, there are no water to power them. When there is no water, sanitation is zero. And now today we're talking about there was a big sponsor to stop open defecation. And it's because most of these houses do not have access to water. Even when you build a toilet and there's no water to power it, then it's a waste. So sanitation is one of the things we do. Then this is a water treatment facility where our water is being processed for drinking. And this is virtually almost every state in Nigeria, virtually every state in Nigeria have something like this where they treat their water. Some have 2, some have 3 plants where they treat water. See, this is our work, is to build this and also to manage it, to operate it every now and then. Next one. Next one. We have wastewater treatment facility. Now, in places where the wastewater from the household go to a central point, that has to be treated before you can dispose it off to the water system, to the river. So we do this, we design this, we plan it, we design it, we build it, and we operate it. The next one. Then we have dams and reservoir. This is where we store our water for use in this thing. And this same dam also is used to generate electricity. Next one. My time is up.
No.
Okay. Next one. Okay. We have harbors and coastal. I've talked about this before, where all the ships bring their container, that are importing cars, we are bringing food from abroad, we are importing things. It's the responsibility of the civil engineer also to build the harbor, to build the port, and the coastal system. Yeah, next one. Yes, one of our responsibilities is flood control. And we must make concerted effort to avert flood. But where we are not able to avert the flood, then we must also be able to what? To control it. Because there are times that the rain comes and doesn't give information I'm coming, and our drainage, our river, overcharge, and we have flood. And it's our responsibility also to first of all plan, because we can forecast when the flood is going to happen, and to mitigate the effect of it. When we cannot stop it, we make sure that the effect does not affect the people too much. Next one, then we have irrigation. Irrigation is very important. And one of the challenges we have in Nigeria today with food security is that our irrigation system is faulty. So we're not able to produce food in dry season. That's why we're having problem of because the rainy season is not enough for us to produce enough food for our people to eat. Now let's go to the next one. If there's anyone, okay, water transmission. This is a canal, and that's a pipeline in the inset where we transfer water from one place to the other. And so these are all the things we do in water. So engineer, navigation. Navigation is where we use our ship to transport both people and goods across canals, across rivers, across sea, and anytime we're using rivers and this for that, we call it navigation. Now the last part of it is emerging trend. Presently, globally, we have some crises in water, and one of them is climate change. The climate change is when our climate can no longer be regulated or does not follow the pattern that we used to have before, and that creates uncertainty in what we're expecting in our weather. And that gives us a lot of problem because we are not sure of how much water we're expecting in the rain this year. So we cannot plan. And we must be able to study our climate to know the changes so that we start looking for how to mitigate the impact of climate change. Now, apart from that, we have emerging pollutants. Now, in the past, there are some things that we don't see in our water. For example, plastic. Plastic has become a waste now. We see piece of plastic in our water. Small nanoplastic in our water. We see people that use cream, people that use air products, and those things get into our water. They are chemicals. And chemicals cannot be removed from water. So they are becoming emerging pollutants. They are a trend that we have to take care of now. So these are things that we're studying in water engineering and we're taking care of. And we have to make sure that these things are done, because for a failure in our water field, the life of so many people will be involved. It's possible for a doctor to treat a patient and a patient die, and it's assumed to be a mistake. But in the water field, when you treat water and water is not properly treated, thousands of people would die at the same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Engineer OYERINDE, for that exposition, so to speak. Our time is almost gone. I have just maybe one or two questions to ask you. Number one is, what do technological advancements, how does it affect the future of water resource engineering?
Good. Technological advancements is going to affect us very much. Let me just pick one thing: IoT, Internet of Things. Now, it is possible for me now to monitor my water system in the house. For example, you leave your pump on, and when you are pumping, NEPA took electricity and you went to work, and they brought the light while you are at work, then you wouldn't know. But with Internet of Things now, it can monitor your water system for you, and you'll be checking on your phone that there's water running your house wasting away. So that's one thing. Two, it is making it easier for us to do a lot of modeling and forecasting. It makes the work easier. Now, in those days, you have to go through pages of paper to extract data. But now with the advancement technology now, we can sit down and model data and predict the future in terms of our weather, in terms of our climate. So even we, because this water field, they require a lot of data for modeling, for analysis, for forecasting. So advancement technology is going to be a lot of help for us. It will move the work forward. It will make us be able to provide more access to people, because once you have the data and you're able to process it with the speed of the internet, we can do more.
All right. Lastly, before we go, what advice do you have for a young secondary school student and below on why they should choose this water engineering?
Yeah, good. Presently, globally now, the largest work group is the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The whole world is looking for them. Now, let me say this, that in the US today, there's so many vacancies for people that are in STEM. You know what I'm saying now? STEM consists of every aspect of engineering and sciences. And if you're able to choose a career that will give you opportunities. And water is a field that offers opportunity beyond Nigeria. Not that I study in Nigeria, I have a degree in Nigeria, I can only work in Nigeria. No. Once you have a degree in water, the sky's the limit, because there are opportunities in Australia, in Canada, in US, and other countries. Thank you.
All right, there are opportunities if you choose water engineering. That is the summary of what Dr. Engineer Abiola Oyetunde OYERINDE of the Department of Civil Engineering, Olabisi Onabanjo University, is saying that if you choose water engineering, there's possibilities. The sky is your starting point. And also want to say the sky is your starting point as we leave you today with the question for the week. Nobody called, so probably we'll take our prize to our sponsor. But the question for the week says, what is the product of force and velocity? If you know the answer, please, it's going to be on our social media platform. Just drop your answer. We'll let you know if you are correct. And if you are correct, we'll contact you and get the prize across to you, courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon, FNSC. We have to go now. Thank you so much for joining us. Next Friday is another time where we'll bring you another guest to discuss another topic that would be expository like that of today. My name is Tunola Nino. Until then, I say bye-bye.